Caitlin Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to.
Angel Reese might be upset that the Chicago Sky moved only Caitlin Clark's games to the bigger United Center, but it's not about favoritism, it's business. Last season, the Indiana Fever drew 341,000 fans, while the Sky's numbers weren't even close. Tickets for Clark's games are going for thousands, while regular games are selling at standard prices. The demand speaks for itself. It's not about who's better, it's about the numbers. Clark's presence is driving major revenue, and the Sky are simply following the money. Reese might not like it, but the numbers don't lie.
It is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue. The Fever's games against the Chicago Sky in Chicago, it was announced 2 of them, will be moving to the United Center.
Think the Chicago Sky are playing favorites? Let's look at the facts. When Angel Reese questioned why only Caitlin Clark's games were moved to the United Center, she missed the bigger picture, the numbers. Clark's games are drawing massive demand and higher ticket prices. It's not about favorites, it's about business. The numbers don't lie.
Oh, that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The game's on Saturday, June 7th. And Sunday, July 27th. One had a date change. But they will be moving to the largest capacity arena in the NBA. More than double, I believe, what the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold.
I get it. It feels personal. But professional sports is a business first. The Sky's decision wasn't some shady move to disrespect Angel Reese. It was a business call. When the accounting team saw the attendance numbers and the money Clark's games are pulling in, the choice was clear. This wasn't about feelings. It was about dollar signs lighting up like a Vegas jackpot.
Of course, this is a duh for so many reasons. Caitlin Clark and the Fever get this happening no matter who they're playing on the road. But in this instance, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky in what has been dubbed a rivalry game, at least by the media, it's got a lot of attention around it. And now it's going to have a lot of fans in the house in a 2025 WNBA season that continues to go up.
Here's the truth. The Indiana Fever didn't just have a good season, they shattered records. A staggering 341,000 fans showed up to watch them play, a 36% increase over the previous record set more than 20 years ago. Let that sink in, a 2-decade record broken in just one season. That's game-changing.
Realize that.
Okay, I want y'all to realize that. Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center.
The Chicago Sky, with Angel Reese, averaged around 9,000 fans per game, solid for the WNBA, but only half of what the Fever were drawing. The math is simple. When one player consistently attracts double the audience, the business decision becomes obvious. It's not personal, it's just smart business.
So, that is kind of the long and short of it. Pretty cool to see, obviously. You've got, this is the actual information from the Fever. United Center, both of those games, as you can see.
The difference in capacity between these venues is huge. The United Center holds nearly 21,000 fans, while Wintrust Arena maxes out at around 10,000. That's doubling the potential ticket sales for key matchups. When the Sky ran the numbers, they saw around $4 million in extra revenue just by moving 2 games. What business would leave that kind of money on the table? It's not about favorites, it's smart business.
But they were saying that an extra $4 million, that's $2 million each game, was a little hard to pass up.
Need more proof this is about money, not drama? When Caitlin Clark played in Chicago last season, ticket prices didn't just rise, they skyrocketed. The secondary market went wild, with some seats reselling for thousands. Fans were paying playoff prices for regular season games. Meanwhile, games with just Angel Reese? Regular prices, regular demand. The difference is clear. It's all about the dollars.
And it would be good for the league if those games are competitive. And it would be good for the league if Reese thrusts herself into conversations that, put her amongst the actual top players in the game eventually in the future.
This isn't about fueling the Clark-Reese rivalry the media loves to hype. It's about market forces. Caitlin Clark's games draw twice the audience and twice the revenue. The Sky aren't saying Angel isn't a star, she is. But when one player's games consistently drive premium prices and overwhelming demand, adjusting your business strategy isn't favoritism, it's smart business.
It's not deep, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This is not a complicated issue or a subject that requires a ton of analysis. Supply and demand is a simple formula, and there is great demand for the Fever and Sky matchups, for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese matchup.
Market forces don't impact just one team. They ripple across the entire league. The WNBA is seeing a venue shift that no one predicted, except maybe Caitlin Clark herself. While Angel Reese feels singled out by Chicago's decision, at least 4 other teams are making the same move for the same reason. Coincidence? Or are they all reacting to the same undeniable financial reality? The demand speaks for itself. It's business, not personal.
Now there is more stuff because they're moving to a bigger venue, a bigger house. Look, Caitlin Clark herself called for it. Remember, she asked for the All-Star game in Indy, that happened. Now she asked for the United Center in Chicago, and as a result, not directly because of her, because of everything I just, the Sky and Fever games in Chicago.
Look at Washington, D.C. The Mystics, a team that's played in the same venue for years, suddenly moved their Fever matchups to Baltimore. Why? CFG Bank Arena seats nearly 15,000 fans, a big upgrade from their usual home. A professional team leaving their home court and shifting to another city just to handle bigger crowds for specific games says it all. This isn't about loyalty. It's about meeting demand and maximizing revenue.
The Washington Mystics also moved 2 of their games yesterday, too. I wonder if those were Angel Reese games. Oh, they weren't. They weren't Angel Reese games. They were Indiana Fever games. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do it.
Look at Washington, D.C. The Mystics, a team that's played in the same venue for years, suddenly moved their Fever matchups to Baltimore. Why? CFG Bank Arena seats nearly 15,000 fans, a big upgrade from their usual home. A professional team leaving their home court and shifting to another city just to handle bigger crowds for specific games says it all. This isn't about loyalty. It's about meeting demand and maximizing revenue.
Effect is in full effect. Schedules are just dropping. Some tickets are just going on sale, all this kind of stuff. And it seems the juice and the fire is back with fans just that quick.
Think it's just an East Coast trend? Nope. Head west, and you'll see the Las Vegas Aces, the defending champs with 3 Olympic gold medalists, making the same business move. Even with a stacked roster, they are securing bigger venues specifically for Fever matchups. The Atlanta Dream is doing the same, targeting those high-demand Fever games for venue upgrades. This isn't a fluke, it's a clear response to the overwhelming draw of Caitlin Clark.
There's not. 4,200 is third to last. This is the same shit that the Atlanta Dream pull, all right? Because they sell out all their home games with a capacity of 3,800 fans? And then they brag about it. And you're like, but that's not any fans? Question mark? By the way, they have to move their games for Caitlin Clark, too.
This isn't a conspiracy against Angel Reese. It's multiple business teams, each with their own financial data, accountants, and projections, all reaching the same conclusion. Caitlin Clark's games demand bigger venues. The numbers don't lie. It's simple business.
We can all be so fortunate to be living in a time of such change, of such big, enigmatic, generational talent existing in a time that we are alive. At least that's how I feel.
What's even more fascinating, Clark saw this coming nearly a year ago. She casually said, "I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center." While everyone else was debating her impact, she was quietly predicting the venue shift we're now seeing unfold. She knew it before anyone else.
I saw the ticket prices. I guess the only thing is, I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center. I thought that would have been really good for the game and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago. So maybe there's a conflict of some sort that I don't know about. Obviously, that's a little above my pay grade. But we're excited.
When one WNBA team makes a move, you might call it favoritism. But when 5 different franchises make the same decision for the same games, it's not favoritism, it's responding to clear market signals. These teams crunched the numbers, saw the projected attendance, and realized that sticking with smaller venues would be financial malpractice. The demand for Clark's games is too big to ignore.
Oh, that's right. They don't sell out their home games with Angel Reese. Have I said that before? I have. They don't sell out their home games with Angel Reese. I think they averaged around 9,000 fans last year per game.
Those market signals aren't just about filling seats. They reveal who's actually driving this growth. When Angel Reese says, "They watch for me too," the numbers tell a different story. Before this rookie class arrived, WNBA viewership was growing at a solid 40% from the previous year. Good progress, but nothing groundbreaking. Now, with Caitlin Clark and this rookie wave, the league's growth has exploded. The impact isn't just noticeable, it's game-changing.
And I was a fan of the WNBA beforehand, and I do love the WNBA. I do love other teams. I do love other players, but Caitlin Clark playing in Iowa really changed my view on looking at basketball, and what that girl did and what she is doing now is something that I have never seen in the game, and I cannot look away from.
Then Caitlin Clark arrived, and WNBA growth didn't just increase, it skyrocketed by 400%. This isn't a small bump, it's a complete shift in the league's trajectory. Clark's impact has transformed the WNBA's future, driving unprecedented attention and revenue.
You made sure you moved that game so you could fit more people in there. That's one thing.
Want to know how big one player's impact can be? The WNBA admitted that over 25% of all league revenue last year came directly from Caitlin Clark. Let that sink in. A single rookie driving more than a quarter of an entire professional league's revenue. That's not just moving the needle, that's completely reshaping the game's financial landscape. Clark isn't just a star, she's a business force.
You know, a lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was #1.
Still wondering why these venue changes are happening? Here's the stat. When the Fever play on the road, they are drawing 36% more fans than any other team in the league. Not 5%, not 10% to 36%. That's not a small edge, it's a massive attendance gap. The message is clear. Fans are showing up for Caitlin Clark, and teams are adjusting to meet the demand.
I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player, it's because of her too.
The contrast is clear when you look at other events. When Angel Reese played in the unrivaled 3x3 league, reports show she barely moved the viewership needle. The same trend appears in attendance. The Fever broke the 20,000 fan mark 3 times during their 2024 season. The Sky, with Angel Reese? Not once. The numbers don't lie. Clark's impact is on a different level.
So the new arena right here, 14,000. They literally had to raise the capacity by 9,800 seats for the Indiana Fever, both of them. And guess what? Those games, they'll sell out too.
Here's a key fact. The Chicago Sky's current attendance record wasn't set this year. It was set in 2016, long before Angel Reese joined the team. Her presence hasn't driven the kind of attendance spike that would justify a venue change. The demand just isn't there yet. Clip 22. Angel Reese is valuable to the league, no doubt about it. But there's a big difference between being a star and being a transformative figure who shifts a sport's financial trajectory. The gap between 40% growth and 400% growth is massive. When the impact is this stark, it's not about playing favorites, it's about recognizing reality. Clark's influence is simply on another level. Clip 23. When Adam Fox, president of the Chicago Sky, says they are rewarding fan passion by expanding capacity, he's not talking about favoritism, he's talking business. This is a dollars and cents decision, plain and simple. The Sky aren't taking sides in a media-driven rivalry. They are following the money. Ticket sales and demand are pointing in one direction, and the Sky are smartly responding to it.
In case you're wondering what the difference is right here, that Wintrust Arena, 10,000 seats for basketball, 20,917 at the United Center for basketball.
Do you really think any professional sports team would pass up the chance to double their revenue just to make everyone feel included? That's not how business works. When one player consistently fills arenas everywhere she plays, you adjust. These franchises already operate on thin margins. They can't afford to ignore that kind of demand. Yes, Angel Reese is talented. And yes, she has fans. But at the end of the day, the Chicago Sky's decision was based on cold, hard numbers, not emotions, not favoritism, and definitely not some conspiracy to elevate one player over another. This is professional sports, and business decisions are driven by the bottom line.